at Timeline Alchemy, rewriting reality from the future you. Quantum opening. Your mind becomes a living loom where threads of memory and possibility braid a present that serves your highest path. Your nervous system learns the language of coherence. Your heart chooses a timeline, and your cells listen. Section 1. Deep Gaze, the soul's cartography of time. A traveler of light crosses a desert that is also a calendar. Each dune carries a date, each grain of sand a decision. The sun does not punish. The sun reveals. Footprints appear before each step because the future self has already walked, singing coordinates of trust. The traveler listens closely and places one foot where the song glows. This image speaks to the archetypal journey that beats inside your chest. The magician in you edits frames of inner cinema with symbols and intention. The healer in you metabolizes grief into clarity. The sovereign in you declares priority, protects energy, and chooses counsels of wise inner parts over committees of fear. The lover in you breathes life into matter through presence and gratitude. Time behaves like water inside a chalice. A rigid grip spills it, a generous cup receives it. The psyche discovers a secret every time it breathes without hurry. Memory is not a tombstone. Memory is soft clay. The body holds yesterday as posture. The breath sculpts the posture into prayer. Your voice can become a tuning fork for a reality that respects your essence. With each aligned micro-choice, the timeline bends. With each kind refusal, the timeline clears. With each courageous yes to purpose, the timeline locks into a crystalline rail of inevitability. The future self is not a ghost. The future self is a frequency. When you practice coherence, you broadcast that frequency, and the field rearranges in elegant obedience. Waban Wanta. Section 2. Scientific and Psychological Foundations. Neuroplasticity provides the clay, and your attention provides the kiln. Repeated focus rewires synaptic highways. Emotions act as biochemical highlighters, tagging experiences for consolidation. Memory reconsolidation reveals that each time you recall, you also rewrite. A felt sense of safety during recall inserts new learning into old networks, softening triggers and opening fresh responses. The default mode network quiets when attention enters the breath, the body, and a single present task. This quieting reduces rumination and liberates working memory for creative choice. The salience network then orients to values rather than alarms, and the executive network gains bandwidth to sequence aligned action. The psyche moves from survival choreography to authorship. The humanistic say, current reminds that unconditional positive regard repairs the inner attachment with self. Authenticity, not perfection, organizes behavior toward self-actualization. The transpersonal lens widens the room of the self. States of unity, awe, and sacredness nourish meaning. Archetypes operate like operating systems for behavior. The sovereign archetype stabilizes boundaries. The healer archetype blesses the wound as a teacher. The magician archetype translates symbol into behavior. The lover archetype irrigates the desert with warmth. Polyvegalendo. Wisdom clarifies that safety is the gatekeeper of learning. Ventral vagal tone allows curiosity, empathy, and planning. Sympathetic mobilization grants power when guided by purpose. Dorsal withdrawal asks for gentle reconnection. The timeline changes when your body believes you are safe enough to choose. In practice, state precedes strategy. A cold mind executing a hot dream burns out. A regulated body holding a clear image becomes a lighthouse. When attention, breath, posture, and self-talk align, biology stops arguing and begins to collaborate. The future self grows roots in the present nervous system. Turnaround. Section 3. Biodecoding applied. When the body writes in symptoms. The body is a library. Each sensation becomes a sentence. Each symptom becomes a metaphor loaded with instructions for release. The purpose is not blame, the purpose is translation. Throat tension or recurring throat irritations often mirror silenced truth or delayed self-expression. The biology rehearses a blocked gate. The soul asks for sound, gentle humming, Tonal vowel chanting and written declarations loosen the gate and invite the immune orchestra to retune. Lower back pain frequently signals stories about support, worth, and permission to carry less. A back that clenches tries to be a wall. A back that breathes becomes a bridge. Micropostural liberation combined with boundaries in your calendar sends the message that you are supported. Digestive turbulence often correlates with difficulty assimilating experience. The gut wants spacious chewing of life, not rushed swallowing. Warm liquids, slower meals, and 15 mindful breaths before eating act as biochemical poetry for the enteric brain. The skin eruptions can echo boundary confusion. The skin is the visible border. When people-pleasing dissolves your edge, the skin draws a red line. Restoring honest yes and honest no becomes an anti-inflammatory prayer. Headaches may highlight over-control and hypervigilance. A mind that holds the sky alone starts to ache. Neck-jaw release, eyes softening practices, and scheduled windows of play inform the system that the earth also holds. Every symptom invites an emotional denoting. The protocol moves in 4 arcs. 1. Name the emotion without drama. 2. Locate where it lives in the body. 3. Breathe into the region with warmth, counting slow exhales. 4. Update the narrative with a gentle, believable phrase aligned with reality and values. As the narrative updates, physiology follows. As the body softens, choices sharpen. Biology stops screaming when the psyche begins listening. Human Section 4. Quantum NLP Tools. Step-by-step reprogramming. All processes can be practiced daily. Each step is simple. Repetition turns simple into sacred. 4.1. Future self-calibration. 1. Stand tall, feet grounded, jaw soft. 2. State your North Star outcome in sensory terms. Example, I publish my message consistently with calm breath, stable voice, and an open chest. 3. Identify evidence signals that prove success in the body and the world. Calm morning routine, time-blocked creation slots, completed posts or compositions, soft eyes during recording. 4. Place the image 3 meters in front, bright and steady. 5. Breathe for 30 seconds while gazing inwardly at that image. 6. Whisper a concise identity statement. I am the one who delivers with grace and precision. 7. Step into the image and let posture match it. Hold for 60 seconds. 4.2. Submodality recoding. Your inner cinema has dials. Successful states share a code. Old patterns share another. 1. Recall a moment of flow. Notice brightness, distance, sound texture, and body temperature. 2. Map the dials. Bright, near, surround sound, warm chest. 3. Recall a stuck pattern. Dim, far, narrow, cold. 4. Transfer the flow dials onto the stuck image. 5. Lock with a deep inhale and a long exhale. 6. Repeat 3 times. The nervous system updates its default visualization grammar. 4.3. Swish pattern for identity uplift. 1. Stuck snapshot appears small in the lower left of your mind screen. 2. Future you image appears large at center. 3. Swish fast. Future image grows brighter while the stuck one shrinks to a dot. 4. Blank the screen. 5. Repeat 5 to 7 times. 6. Open eyes and move the body. Anchor with a word like ascend. 4.4. Anchoring resource states. 1. Recall 3 memories of courage, serenity, and clarity. 2. At the emotional peak of each memory, press thumb and middle finger together. 3. Stack the anchors by repeating for all 3 states. 4. Test by firing the anchor and observing breath, posture, and focus. 5. Use the anchor before goals, creation, or boundary conversations. 4.5. 6-step reframe, compassion edition. 1. Identify an unhelpful behavior or thought loop. 2. Thank the part for its positive intention. 3. Ask the system, without words if preferred, to present 3 alternative behaviors that satisfy the same intention with less cost. 4. Choose 1 alternative and rehearse it as a micro-movie. 5. Thank the part and invite it to practice the new role. 6. Future pace, by imagining the next cue and firing the new behavior. 4.6. Timeline bridging. 1. Visualize a line on the floor. Left holds the past, center holds the present, right holds the chosen future. 2. Stand in the future position first. Breathe as if success is normal. Note sensations, posture, tone of inner voice. 3. While holding the future posture, call the present you forward. 4th step to the present position while maintaining the future breathing and posture. 5. Name 1. Next right. Tiny action that materializes the bridge. 6. Do it immediately after the practice. 4.7. Language precision. Replace vague affirmations with precise declarations that your nervous system can trust. Instead of "I will be disciplined," declare, "I sit to create at 9 o'clock with my phone outside the room and a single task on the table." Instead of "I will have abundance," declare, "I publish one value-dense piece per day, make one direct invitation, and track the metrics that matter." 4.8. Values-aligned boundaries. 1. Choose 3 guiding values. 2. Translate each value into one behavior to protect and one behavior to decline. 3. Install guardrails in the calendar. Time is a border. Borders are love. Section 5. Spiritual perspective and Christic consciousness. Love functions as the most advanced technology. The Christic field dissolves separation without dissolving distinction. Unity does not cancel sovereignty. Unity crowns sovereignty. A sovereign heart loves without bargaining away its mission. Compassion moves as active intelligence. It corrects without humiliation. It forgives without pretending. It includes without surrendering discernment. This field, practiced as breath, blesses organs, behaviors, and conversations. A calm tone becomes a sanctuary for others and a directive for matter. The Buddhist wisdom of emptiness whispers an elegant clarity. Things do not carry independent, fixed essence. Meaning emerges dependent on conditions and mind. Your story can loosen stories breathe. Breathing stories birth new choices. Emptiness is not a void of love. Emptiness is spacious love, with room for everything to update. The Magdalene current teaches devotion grounded in the body, oil on the feet, attention on the breath. Altars made of everyday objects. The ordinary becomes sacrament when presence saturates it. The timeline becomes a rosary of micro-acts aligned with purpose. From this vantage, service is not self-erasure. Service is radiant overflow. Purpose becomes a geometry that organizes days. The calendar turns into a mandala where each segment receives what is proportionate and nothing steals what is sacred. You become a lighthouse that does not chase boats. Light does the calling, the sea does the rest. 1 Section 6. Integrative Ritual, the 33 Breath Bridge, and the 3 Altars. Perform this practice once daily for 21 days. Keep the tone simple and dignified. A. Preparation. 1 candle, 1 glass of water, 1 small bowl with a pinch of salt, 1 seed or small stone, 1 notebook. Phone outside the room. Spine tall. Exhale longer than inhale. B. The 33 Breath Bridge. 1. Breaths 1 to 11. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth with a soft sigh. Name silently 3 values on breaths 3, 7, and 11. 2. Breaths 12 to 22. Inhale nose, exhale nose. Place 1 hand on the heart and 1 on the navel. With each exhale, silently state, "I am safe to choose." 3. Breaths 23 to 33. Tiny smile behind the lips. Imagine light from crown to feet. Silently state, "I walk the future now." On each exhale. C. The 3 Altars. Altar of body. Sip water with presence. Sprinkle 1 grain of salt on the tongue. State, "My cells obey coherence." Altar of time. Light the candle. State, "My calendar reflects my mission." Open the notebook and write 1 concrete action for the day. Altar of earth. Hold the seed or stone. State, "Roots deep, branches wide." Place the object near the candle to represent sustained growth. D. Quantum decree. Speak slowly, standing tall, hands open. I bless my nervous system with clarity. I bless my voice with truth. I bless my path with steady love. What I repeat becomes real. What I embody becomes law. My future is a frequency, and I tune to it now. E. Closing gesture. Blow out the candle with a long, relaxed exhale, as if sending a ribbon of light into the day. Touch the heart and the forehead. Bow slightly to your own presence. Dewas. Daily application map. Making the future inevitable. Mornings. 33 breath bridge. 1 page of focused creation. 1 invitation sent to the world. Midday. 5-minute body scan. Anchor courage. Correct posture. Hydrate. Afternoon. 45 minutes of deep work protected by noise-free boundaries. Evening. Gratitude inventory measured by 3 very specific proofs of alignment. Weekly. 2 hours of strategic review, 1 hour of playful learning, 1 honest conversation that clarifies a boundary or a collaboration. Monthly. 1 ritual of completion. Archive what is done, release what is not yours to carry, schedule what is essential. Consistency becomes ceremony, ceremony becomes culture, culture becomes a gravitational field. Your life attracts what respects your field. Boundary geometry for relational prosperity. Generosity blooms where borders are healthy. Alignment seals, prosperity leaks. Calendar borders. Creation blocks locked, rest blocks respected, meetings limited to what serves. Communication borders. Response windows declared, channels chosen, tone anchored in kindness and clarity. Energy borders. 1 practice that fills you daily, 1 habit that drains you removed each week, 1 relationship conversation upgraded each month. Financial borders. Clear pricing, clean offers, explicit value, and loving follow-through. Money enjoys clarity and leaves confusion. Part of you will resist, another part already celebrates. Invite them both to the table. Let the sovereign host, let the lover feed, let the healer translate, let the magician integrate. Troubleshooting the timeline. If procrastination returns, lower the action size until it feels comically doable. 10 minutes of sacred focus often opens an hour of effortless momentum. If anxiety spikes, extend exhale to twice the length of inhale for 3 minutes. Touch something cool. Re-enter the task when breath and gaze soften. If people-pleasing pulls, place a hand on the sternum and state 3 times. I can love and say no. Send the message without apology and without drama. If self-talk hardens, replace inner courtroom with inner classroom. Correct with curiosity. Praise micro wins. The nervous system learns better from warmth. If fatigue dominates, check the basics. Water, protein, sunlight, movement, sleep. Simplicity returns power faster than complexity. Kawaros, high vibration closing. Master phrase. Gentleness with myself, precision with my actions, devotion with my mission, unity with all that breathes. 24-hour quantum challenge. Choose 1 task that has lived in your mind for more than 2 weeks. Reduce it to a 10-minute slice. Do it today. Record a single sentence in your notebook. Promise kept. Activation code. Whisper 3 times, breathing slowly. Ray, M-A, Ha. Then declare, I walk the future now. Your feet already know the way. Your breath already holds the key. Your calendar becomes a cathedral. Your voice becomes a bell. Con amor, Andrew.